Hey, what's going on, guys? I just got the Vantrue X4 dash cam, which records at 4K at 30 frames per second. Now, heads up, not all cameras record 4K at 30 frames per second. Some of them try to kind of manipulate you, and they record only 24 frames per second, 12 frames per second, and they say it's 4K, but it's really not. The minimum I would recommend for a dash cam is 30 frames per second that you could do with this one. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that every second there's 30 frames in that second. Now, the best recommended settings would be 60 frames per second. Now, if you record at 2K, you can get 60 frames per second on this dash cam. Now, important things that you should know about this dash cam is that it has an 8 megapixel camera and it has an IMX317 Sony sensor. So it's a really good camera, and we're gonna check out the quality, check out the low light situation, daylight, and the audio quality on this one. So let's get it first unboxed. I haven't even touched it. We're gonna get it unboxed. We're gonna record some footage, and I'm gonna give you my final results at the end. Now, if you guys wanna grab the camera, the link will be in the description. The link is an affiliate link. If you like the video, if you like what I've done for you, and if you like the camera, check out the link. It helps me out. It doesn't cost you a single cent more, but it helps me out. So let's get it unboxed. All right, guys, so let's get it unboxed. This is the Vantrue X4 dash cam. And let's get this out of the way and see what we have inside. So the first thing we have is a start guide, user's manual, warranty, a little share video. If you share it, you get the GPS module for this one. Now, first thing we have right here is the camera. So there's a black mat to it, not so shiny. Good look, nice size screen. Let's get it over here. Let's see what else we have. We have the power cord. And let's see, all right, it's a mini USB. I wished it was a Type-C or at least a micro USB. We got the suction mount, all right. And last, we have another power cord. Yeah, is that, yeah. Oh, it's if you want to use the USB, if you have already a lighting plugs right there, so you can use this, makes it easier. All right, guys, so let's actually start the daylight footage so you guys can see the quality on this 4K camera. Now, the video will be in 4K, so make sure that YouTube, you hit that 4K button. This is the daylight footage, and like I said before, I recommend that you turn your YouTube settings to 4K so you can see the full quality of this dash cam. Remember, this is the Vantrue X4 and I'm shooting at 4K. That means 3,840 pixels by 2,160 at 30 frames per second. And I'm also using wide dynamic range. That means if I have a situation where there's a dark zone and light zone, it'll capture both zones. So that means if I go under a bridge, it'll capture anything under it and where the light hits from the outside. So the things I like about this camera is obviously the 4K capabilities, and if I need to shoot at 60 frames per second, I would select the 2K version, not the 4K. So let's check out the quality. Let's do some zoom test. And by the way, the audio that you're hearing is straight from the dash cam. So I am not doing a voiceover. The audio is straight from the dash cam. So you can kind of get an idea of what the quality of the audio is. So just check out the light changes here. Alright, so we are now checking the night footage. We got some bright lights there, but we're gonna head over to a little bit more darker place where you're not gonna find as much light. So over here, there's less light, but you can get an idea of what the night footage is going to be. Now I'm just gonna keep recording so you guys check, and I will be doing some zoom on some license plate. Overall, the X4 camera is a really good camera. It's a 4K camera. I could actually see it when I did zoom on a license plate at night. I actually zoomed in my editor 1,000 times to see that license plate, and it was visible. So I think that's pretty cool. Something that you have to consider also with a 4K camera is the actual size of the files. So each 3-minute file is about 1 gigabyte. So that means in a 256 gigabyte micro SD card, it's gonna record about 12 hours only on this camera when you're recording at 4K, right? Now, if you wanna lower the resolution, that is possible. Remember, you can lower at 1080p, 2K, and my recommended setting is 2K at 60 frames per second. That means it's not possible to miss something at 60 frames per second. So if something flies by or something really quick happens, you can actually capture at 60 frames per second. So my recommended setting, 2K, 60 frames per second. I think overall it's a good camera, good quality. The footage was really good. You could actually see it on the video. Something I would recommend for the next version is that the aperture would lower. So right now the aperture on this camera is 1.8, but we can make it a bit better on low light if it were 1.4. So I hope the next version will update that part. Overall, great camera, like I said. If you guys want to grab this camera, the link will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.